Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 27th of March, 1986. And the title is Be Constantly Loving. Today, the Father, the ocean of love, has come to meet his loving children. This spiritual love makes every child an easy yogi. This love is an easy method to forget the whole old world. This love is the only powerful means to make every soul belong to the Father. Love is the foundation of Brahman life. Love is the basis of the sustenance to create a powerful life. All the elevated souls who have arrived personally in front of the Father have come here on the basis of their love. You come flying here with the wings of love and become residents of Madhuban. Bap Dada was seeing all of you loving children, how all of you are loving. But what is the difference between you? Why do you become number wise? What is the reason for this? All are loving, but some are constantly loving, where others are just loving. And the third category are those who fulfill the responsibility of love according to the time. Bap Dada saw three types of loving children. Because those who are constantly loving are merged in love. They are always beyond any effort or difficulty. They neither have to make any effort, nor do they experience anything to be difficult. Because they are constantly loving, the elements of nature and Maya become their servants from this time onwards. That is, the constantly loving souls become the masters. Therefore, the elements of nature and Maya automatically become the servants. The elements of nature and Maya do not have the courage to make the constantly loving souls use their time and thoughts for them. Every moment and every thought of the constantly loving souls are for the Father's remembrance and service. This is why Maya and the elements of nature know that such constantly loving children can never be dependent on them, even in their thoughts. They are souls who have a right to all powers. The stage of the constantly loving souls is praised as those who belong to the one Father and none other. The Father is their world. The second type, the loving souls, definitely stay in love, but because they are not constant, sometimes their love goes in other directions through their thoughts. Because of transforming themselves, every now and again they experience having to make effort, and they sometimes experience difficulty, but very little. Whenever there is a subtle attack from the elements of nature or Maya, then because of love, they have remembrance very quickly, and because of the power of remembrance, they very quickly transform themselves. However, some of their time and their thoughts are used up overcoming the difficulty or in making that effort. Sometimes their love becomes ordinary, and at other times they remain absorbed in love. There continues to be a difference in their stage. Nevertheless, not too much of their time or their thoughts go to waste. This is why, although they are loving, they are not constantly loving, and they therefore become the second number. The third type are those who fulfill the responsibility of love according to the time. Such souls believe that true love cannot be received from anyone except the one Father, and that this spiritual love will make you elevated for all time. They have total knowledge, that is, understanding, and they even love just this loving life. However, because of not having controlling power due to the influence of attachment to their own body or sanskars, or attachment to a particular old sanskar, attachment to the sanskar of any person or possession, or to the sanskar of waste thoughts, they have a burden of waste thoughts, or because they lack the power of the gathering, they are unable to be successful in a gathering. The situation of the gathering finishes their love and pulls them towards itself. Some of them always become disheartened very quickly. 1 minute they would be flying very high, but if you look at them the next minute, they would be disheartened, even with themselves. This sanskar of becoming disheartened with oneself also doesn't allow them to be constantly loving. Any type of sanskar attracts them towards situations or nature. They come into upheaval, but then, because of experiencing love and because of loving the life of love, they are nevertheless able to remember the Father. They try to become merged in the Father's love once again. So because of coming into upheaval, according to the time and the situation, they sometimes have remembrance and sometimes battling. They spend a greater part of their life battling, and in comparison, their life of being absorbed in love is then less. This is why they take the third number. Nevertheless, to be in the third number compared to all the souls of the world would still be said to be extremely elevated because they have recognized the Father. They belong to the Father and the Brahmin family. They are at least called the most elevated Brahmin souls, the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. This is why, in comparison to the world, even they, the third type, are loving souls. However, in comparison to perfection, they are the third number. So, all are loving, but number-wise. The number one constantly loving souls are always like lotus flowers, detached and extremely loving to the Father. Loving souls are detached and loving, but they are not powerfully victorious like the Father. They are not absorbed in love, but are loving. Their special slogan is, I belong to you and I will remain yours. They constantly continue to sing this song. Nevertheless, they have love and they therefore remain 80% safe. However, there is still the word sometimes that comes in between. The word always is not used about them. The third number souls, because of repeatedly having to connect their love, also continue to make promises with love. That's it. From today, I will become like this. From now, I will do this. Because they know the difference, they make promises and they make effort. But one or other particular sanskar doesn't allow them to remain lost in love. An obstacle brings them down from their stage of being lost in love. Therefore, the word always cannot be used about them. Because they are sometimes like this and at other times like that, they have one particular weakness or another remaining. Such souls have a very sweet heart-to-heart conversation with Bapdada. They demonstrated having a lot of right. They say the direction is from you, but you can also do it like us, and I will attain the reward of that. They say with love and a right. Since you have made me belong to you, it is now up to you. The father says, the father knows, but the child should at least accept that. However, those children say with a right, whether I accept or not, you will have to accept me as I am. So, the father still feels mercy for such children because they are Brahmin children after all. Therefore, he also gives special power through the instrument souls. However, some take their power and do transform themselves, whereas others, even though they do receive power, remain so lost in their own sanskars that they are unable to imbibe that power. If you give something nourishing to someone to eat, and he doesn't eat it, what would happen? The Father gives special love, and some do gradually become powerful and change from the third type of souls to the second type. However, because some of them are very careless, they are unable to take as much as they should. All three types of children are loving children. They all have the title of being loving children, but they are number-wise. Today, it is the turn of Germany. The whole group is number one. You are the number one close jewels, because those who are equal also remain close. No matter how far away you may be physically, you are so close to the heart that you reside in the heart. Because you reside on the Father's heart throne, there is automatically no one except the Father in your heart. Because in Brahmin life, the Father makes a deal with the heart. You won his heart and you gave your heart. You made a deal with your heart, did you not? You stay with the Father in your heart. Physically, some of you stay in one place and others in another place. If all of you were to stay here, what would you do sitting here? Even those who were living in Madhuban had to be sent out for service. How else would the world be served? You have love for the Father and for service. This is why, according to the drama, you have reached different places and become instruments for service there. So this is also a part that is fixed in the drama. You have become instruments for serving your equals. Those from Germany are those who always remain happy. Since you are receiving an inheritance from the Father for all time so easily, why should you put aside that which you receive for all time and only take a little or for some time? The bestower is giving, and so why should those who are taking take any less? Therefore, always continue to swing in the swing of happiness. Always be a conqueror of Maya, a conqueror of nature. Be victorious and beat the drums of victory loudly in front of the world. Souls nowadays are either totally intoxicated with perishable facilities, or they are weary from sorrow and peacelessness and are sleeping in such a deep sleep that they don't hear a little sound. Those who are lost in that type of intoxication have to be really shaken awake. You also have to really shake those who are fast asleep in a deep sleep to awaken them. So, what are those from Hamburg doing? It is very good, powerful group. All of you have a deep love for the Father and the study. Those who love their study always remain powerful. To have love for the Father, that is, for Murlidhar, means to have love for the Murli. If you don't have love for the Murli, there cannot be love for Murlidhar. No matter how much they say that they love the Father, but that they don't have time for the study, the Father won't believe them. Where there is deep love, no obstacles can remain. They will automatically end. Those who have love for the study and the Murli easily overcome all obstacles. Through their flying stage, they go up above and the obstacles remain down below. For those who are in the flying stage, a mountain is like a stone. Those who have love for the study can have no excuses. Love enables anything difficult to become easy. Love for the Murli, love for the study, and love for the family become a fortress. And those who stay in this fortress remain safe. Both these specialties are making this group move forward. Because of love for the study and the family, you bring one another close with that impact. The instrument soul you have is also a loving soul. Pushpal Dadi. Love does not see the language. The language of love is more elevated than all other languages. Everyone is remembering her. Bab Dada also remembers her. Baba is seeing very good practical proof. There is growth in service. The more expansion you continue to have, the more blessings you will continue to receive from everyone as the fruit of becoming great souls. Only charitable souls become the souls who are worthy of worship. If you do not become a charitable soul at this time, you cannot become a soul worthy of worship in the future. It is also necessary to be a charitable soul. Acha, blessing, may you be full of all attainments, and by knowing the importance of the confluence age, receive a countless return of one. At the confluence age, Bab Dada has promised, give one and receive 100,000-fold. Just as this is the most elevated period, the most elevated birth, and you receive the most elevated titles at this time, in the same way, it is only at this time that you experience all attainments. At this time, not only do you receive 100,000-fold in return for one, but whenever you want, however much you want, and whatever you want, the Father is bound to give you that as your servant. You receive a countless fold return for one, because at this time, even the bestower of blessings belongs to you. When you have the seed in your hand, you can take whatever you want from the seed in a second and become full of all attainments. Slogan: whatever adverse situations there are, those situations will go away, but you should not let your happiness go. Om Shanti.